Hey guys, Overtinkering here. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I grease my bearings. So let me show you. This bearing just came out of a yo-yo. I've given it a quick rinse, but what I do is I've got my bearing flicker here from Layer Infinity. You could also use one of your pullers if you have the right sizes with a nice little step like some of mine are. Anyway, this one works fantastic. So first things first, I use contact cleaner. This is change labels all the time, but anyway, fast evaporating contact cleaner, no residue, safe for plastics. I also use brake cleaner. This stuff's great to use because I can blast it right out, and that bearing is now clean of grease. A little farther than I really need to do, but for the video, now let's grease it. I use Super Lube, it's my preference. And this is a C-size bearing from the Pop PLTPS here. So to grease it, I've already set aside some here on my tray here, and I take about that big an amount, maybe a little less, so I can control it, all right? And I like to try to surface rub the top of the bearing. Use my needle here as a spatula, and then I just go in and kind of poke it in to each of the little holes or gaps between the balls. Again, another spatula wipe. So I'm pressing down. And that's that. Now I'll take a rag and I'm just wiping off the side here. Flip it over. Now, this specific bearing here has a little extra shielding that's not removable, so I'm just gonna feed in a little more from this side. Don't be delicate, guys. Just get that grease in there. All right, so again, spatula off. Yes, you can do this in the yo-yo if you didn't want to pull it out. Okay, but now you can see that grease is fully pressed in there. To show. See, look at that spin. Beautiful. Again, just the final on the outside. I really just want to keep the grease off the pads. I don't want it on there. Okay, Pop, these yo-yos here specific have a really nice pocket here for extra grease. But for the video here, I don't just expect that pocket to be there, so let's just grease this how I've shown here. Now because my sides are wiped off, all I gotta do is put that on there. You know? Just line it up nice. All right. Okay, I'm happy with how that's sitting. It'll tighten up with the yo-yo. All right, and there we have it. Freshly greased, but not yet. I gotta run this now. I'm gonna set it aside, put it together, and throw it down real hard. Work that in, work that in. Let's see how that goes. these are typically hard. These are not. You'll strip your threads. I've never stripped a thread, but I know it can happen. You can helicoil it after if you do. That's a whole nother video. But for this little clip here, I just wanted to say, let's clean our axles. Okay, just get that gunk out of the threads, whatever you got there. Now, I like to put a product called STL on the threads. This is a product for dissimilar metals. However, since I usually have my Super Lube with me, which I have a little bit under my napkin here, I lubricate my axle. I know there's people that actually will do different services, and that might be more sensitive for unresponsive. But in my experience, and again, this is a video what I do, I take that little bit of grease just on the threads. This is not much. I do not know if the zoom is going to work for that, but just a little bit. All right, see, I even took off that a bit of that, so it's just in there. And I find typically one side of the yo-yo likes to hold on to the bearing more than the other, so I always try to put the axle on the other side of that. All right. Use your small side of the Allen key. You can't get as much torque, so it's safer for the aluminum body. And that's it. So that axle is now ready to go. That bearing is now ready to go. Okay, we're back. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that grease doesn't look much different, okay? I find after a week, I do need to come back, reapply a little bit more, but then I'm good for months, okay? I do not service my bearings very often anymore. What am I doing? I'm just topping up that last little bit there because I've got it open, and why not? All right, that looks great. And that is how I grease the bearing.